យលុយតិចប៉ុន្តែគាត់ញ៉ាំបានឆ្អែតដោយសារតែកុមារយើងមិនមែនសុទ្ធតែមកពីគ្រួសារដែលមានជីវភាពធូរធារទាំងអស់នោះទេអញ្ចឹងគាត់អាចថាគ្រួសារខ្លះគាត់មិនសូវសម្បូរលុយកាក់ទេប៉ុន្តែគាត់មានតែ500ឬ1000មកគាត់អាចញ៉ាំនំបានឆ្អែតហើយកាលណាបើគាត់ឆ្អែតហើយគាត់មិនសូវហាវអញ្ចឹងធ្វើឲ្យការសិក្សារបស់គាត់នឹងគឺអាចរក្សាដល់ម៉ោង11ហ្នឹងគឺគាត់មានសុខភាពល្អការសិក្សាក៏វាល្អតាមនោះ
The principal said that the school tried to implement this plan a long time ago, but it was not effective. The school re-implemented the plan on August 7th for the sake of the children's health. He says that this time, most parents and guardians have shown their support for what the school is doing.
ពេលនេះក៏យើងត្រូវតែសម្រេចចិត្តយកផែនការមួយឲ្យបានច្បាស់លាស់ដើម្បីអនុវត្តឲ្យមានប្រសិទ្ធភាពព្រោះអ្វីដែលយើងធ្វើទាំងអស់នេះគឺសម្រាប់កុមាររបស់យើង
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. 8 outstanding Golden Gate American School students returned with 16 medals from the United Kingdom's Teen Eagle English competition held from July 30th through August 6th. This is the second time GGAS Deputy Principal Lee Diamond has accompanied students to the competition, and he is proud of their excellent results.
ចំពោះកម្មវិធី Teen Eagle នេះជាលើកទី2នៃដែលយើងបានដឹកនាំសិស្សសាលា American Golden Gate ទៅប្រកួតនៅទីក្រុងឡុងចំពោះលើកទី1យើងមានសិស្សទៅចូលរួមនឹងទទួលបានលទ្ធផលជាច្រើនមេដាយជាច្រើនហើយចំពោះលើកនេះដែរសិស្សសាលា American Golden Gate បានទៅចូលរួមចំនួន8នាក់ហើយយើងទទួលបានមេដាយមាសចំនួន16មេដាយហើយនឹងពានមួយ
This was Sakura's first time competing in the Teen Eagle competition, and despite not getting the results she wanted, she was happy to make friends and gain experience.
During the competition, I had made lots of new friends, and it was very exciting. At the end, I kind of was disappointed with my score, but it was great. I got honorable mention, so I passed, but I didn't got good enough. This is my first time.
Bimien and Vichia, who also participated in the Teen Eagle competition, said that they had some worries and fears during the competition, but after they had their results and medals, they were happy.
At first I was pretty nervous, but at the end it was exciting because I made some new friends and it was fun. I got bronze and honorable. Yeah, it's my first time.
GGAS student Riek, who won 2 bronze medals, said that in addition to the opportunity to compete, he also got to learn about how different the lifestyles are between London and Cambodia.
At first I was feeling very scared that I might fail, but when I came back, turns out I actually won 2 medals. So I feel happy that I won. My first medal is bronze for productive skill, and my knowledge skill is honorable mention. When I got my medal, I was relieved.
This was Suk's first time in the competition, and he was very happy with his bronze medals. First-time competitor Koik was also afraid of failure, but managed to secure a silver medal and an honorable mention even with her shy and quiet demeanor. Lee Diamond said that GGAS regularly enrolls students in competitions around the world to give them the opportunity to excel on an international stage, as well as increase their global knowledge and empower them to participate with students from around the world. Golden Gate American School was established in 1996 and became a general education school in 2009, using an international curriculum to train Cambodian students. Since 2017, 231 GGAS students have gone abroad to compete in programs like the Pangea Math Olympiad, Teen Eagle, the Copernicus Olympiad, and the World Scholars Cup. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Having been appointed by royal decree as Cambodia's next prime minister on Monday, Dr. Hun Manet was given a new honorary title by King Norodom Sihamoni on Tuesday. The new title is a blessing from the king and implies confidence in the future prime minister's ability to lead. As a doctor, Hun Manet is a member of the Royal Academy and is now the only one to carry the distinct title of Kate Tesa Piba Bandut, which refers to a person with deep knowledge and wisdom who leads his administration to keep the country prosperous. The request for the new title was submitted to the king by Dr. Hun Manet's father, current Prime Minister Hun Sen. The king granted the request and asked that official government documents carry the new honorific moving forward. Dr. Hun Manet will officially become Prime Minister on the evening of August 22nd. On that day, Prime Minister Hun Sen will resign the position he has held closely for 38 years. Prime Minister Hun Sen will remain a key figure in Cambodian politics, however, as the President of the Supreme Council of the King and President of the Senate in 2024. He has stated his intention to extend his political career to at least half a century and already prides himself on being the longest-serving Prime Minister in the world. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. In the first 7 months of 2023, Cambodia's agricultural exports saw a 20% decrease when compared to the same period last year. This reflects an overall trend in fewer Cambodian exports this year in their staple products like garments, footwear, and travel goods. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
According to a report from the Department of Agriculture yesterday, Cambodia's exported just over 4.5 million tonnes of agricultural products this year, including 362,708 tonnes of milled rice and over 1.5 million tonnes of unmilled rice to 68 countries. The estimate value of exported agricultural products is nearly $2.6 billion. The report states that although agricultural exports overseas markets have declined, Cambodia's second quarter this year saw a 3.32% increase, which is attributed to India's decision to shut down its rice exports to maintain its own food security. The price of rice in the international market has been rising, and Cambodia is studying strategies that can benefit its economy by increasing the capacity of local mills to increase processing. The government has also been trying to seal deals with other countries, which will allow to direct export to international markets. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Anti-Drug Department cracked down on 3 people in Phnom Penh Sensok and Chamkarmon districts on Monday for the possession of over 102 kilos of drugs and paraphernalia for the purpose of trafficking. 2 Chinese people and 1 Cambodian were arrested on Monday and then photographed behind the seized contraband, which included many packs of vitamin C powder potentially used to cut their supply. The first arrest was of a woman at the Jelly Lake Hotel on Street 345, while the other 2 male suspects were later arrested at the corner of Streets 508 and 97 in the Chamkarmon district. The Anti-Drug Department also asked the members of the public and media to receive approval before posting the department's activities to social media. Apparently, journalists and members of the public had filmed the police in the process of the drug bust, which tipped off the masterminds and other suspects of the operation, allowing them to flee. The department went on to thank the public for their contribution to the government's 3 Do, 1 Report campaign, which encourages people to relay information to the police about drug offenses. Kristen Winters, EAC News.
Tao លោកអ្នកចិត្តរៀបអាពាហ៍ពិពាហ៍មែនទេហើយពិបាករកក្រុមហ៊ុនថតវីដេអូផ្សាយផ្ទាល់ដែលមានគុណភាពមែនទេអស់កង្វល់ Ratika ជាក្រុមហ៊ុនទទួលស្គាល់លំដាប់អន្តរជាតិលើសេវាកម្មថតផ្សាយផ្ទាល់គ្រប់កម្មវិធីកម្រិត 4K ដំបូងបង្អស់នៅកម្ពុជា Ratika ប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ទំនើបម៉ាកល្បីៗធានាគុណភាពការផលិតតាមបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាន់សម័យ Ratika នឹងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអស្ចារ្យលោកអ្នកនឹងបានឃើញរាល់សកម្មភាពក្នុងពិធីទៅលើកញ្ចក់ទូរទស្សន៍ទំហំធំកម្រិត 4K និងការបញ្ចាំងលើផ្ទាំងក្រណាត់សព្រមទាំង LED ដែលមានរូបភាពច្បាស់ត្រជាក់ភ្នែកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ 012 823 848 017 838 889 និង 016 823 848 Ratika ទំនុកចិត្តការទទួលខុសត្រូវនិងគុណភាពខ្ពស់ Ratika Entertainment ក្រុមតន្ត្រីអាជីពកំសាន្តបែបស្រាលពីរោះមិនថ្លង់ភ្ញៀវរំភើបចិត្ត ពិធីរឹតតែអស្ចារ្យ Relax រាធិកា Entertainment ញ៉ាំងឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអធិកអធមរាធិកា Entertainment ក្រុមតន្ត្រីដ៏ល្អសម្រាប់ក្រុមគ្រួសារលោកអ្នកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះសម្រាប់កម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ017 838 889 012 823 848 និង016 823 848
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. EAC News' passionate team of reporters, writers, cameramen, and video editors are hard at work around the clock, bringing you world-class reports on everything from local and regional news to the latest international stories and the most dramatic footage from around the world. It takes meetings, research, phone calls, and emails. And that's before we even get out of the newsroom and onto the set.
I'm Anthony Ellis, a news reporter for EAC News. Thanks for watching.
Cambodian tourist to China. I'm Kristen Winters. I'm a news reporter with EAC News. Thank you for watching.
I'm Darshana Gauchan, EAC News reporter. Thanks for watching us.
I'm Dekha Nim, sales and marketing manager at EAC News. Thank you for joining us.
I am Honsare Ward, EAC News Channel Manager. Thank you for watching us.
EAC News, English language news show, Cambodia's most comprehensive. The Daily Roundup on the EAC News channel, shooting interviews into the field. And those pieces to camera. Join us and subscribe. We wouldn't want you to miss a thing. The Daily Roundup on the EAC News channel. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
You're watching EAC News.
Thanks for joining us. Watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Incumbent Prime Minister Hun Sen said that the first 100 days of leading the country will give an opportunity to the new administration to prove that they are young, energetic, courageous, and willing to serve the country and the people towards a strong economy. In a meeting with current and future members of the royal government last night, the Prime Minister said that the next administration's ability to host a successful water festival and National Independence Day has created the potential to inspire confidence from the people. He encouraged them to face the challenges of such large events with courage and energy. He also directed the new Council of Ministers, which is expected to be instated on August 22nd, to reach the people on the ground by making visits to local communities and groups who are facing difficulties. He particularly referred to the factory workers who he was visiting before the election campaign and promised to continue visits following the election. On August 7th, King Norodom Sihamoni signed a royal decree approving future Prime Minister Hun Manet's appointment and granting him permission to form a new council of ministers for parliamentary approval on August 21st. The day marks a turning point in Cambodian politics when Prime Minister Hun Sen will resign the position he has held on to for nearly 40 years. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Cambodian People's Party is gearing up for the power shift on August 22nd, when the government's sixth mandate will finish, making way for its seventh iteration. After the new administration has had a chance to settle in, CPP President Hun Sen announced that the party will be electing new board members in December. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
In a meeting with members of the upcoming governments yesterday, Prime Minister Hun Sen announced that on December 9th and 10th, 2023, the CPP will hold an extraordinary General Assembly of the national representatives to elect more board members, which will include more young dignitaries this time around. There are currently 65 members on the CPP board. On August 22nd, the incumbent Prime Minister Hun Sen will resign his position, as well as many of his cabinet members, to make way for the next generation of CPP politicians. The party adopted a slogan, "Keep the old, increase the new," which is meant to keep old members of the CPP relevant for the future policies, while also infusing the party with new blood. The CPP gained many new members leading up to July elections, as former opposition members denounced their parties for a chance to join with the leading political force in Cambodia. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Cambodian government launched a program today which provides free healthcare to those working in the adult tourism sector of the country's informal economy. It is the latest move in a long-term effort to ensure more social security benefits to all Cambodians. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
The program was kicked off on today with a two-day event at Wat Phnom, where workers from two communes were invited to sign up for their benefits. The event was coordinated by the National Council for the Social Protection in collaboration with the United Nations Joint Programme on HIV/AIDS in Cambodia, Laos and Malaysia, and an interministerial group made of members of the Ministry of Planning, the National AIDS Authority, the Phnom Penh Capitol Hall, Under Secretary of State at the Ministry of Economy and Secretary General of the National Council of Social Protection, Chan Narit, said that the program is fully supported and does not require a monthly membership fee like some other social benefit programs.
តែសម្រាប់ក្រុមគោលដៅដែលបងដែលបម្រើការក្នុងវិស័យសេដ្ឋកិច្ចក្នុងសេវាកម្មតាមទេសចរមនុស្សពេញវ័យនៃសេដ្ឋកិច្ចក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធនេះគឺគាត់មិនមានកាតព្វកិច្ចក្នុងការបង់ទេនេះគឺជារបបមួយដែលរបបថែទាំសុខភាពមួយដែលទ្រទ្រង់ដោយថវិកាជាតិទាំងស្រុងតែម្ដងក្នុងការផ្ដល់ផលប្រយោជន៍ជូនពលរដ្ឋ
Representing the Ministry of Planning, the event was Tung Pangatun, who said that the workers from the Strachor and Wat Phnom communes in Phnom Penh's Dung Penh's district were eligible to sign up and receive their benefits card, which can be used at any public hospital immediately. The sign-up campaign will then continue to the provinces to spread the word of the new program. Starting August 13th, workers from all over will be able to register for the program at their local commune offices. Secretary General Chan Narit announced the program in June, and it is a positive step forward in ensuring a healthy population, regardless of their career. It aims to provide an opportunity for vulnerable groups to receive free healthcare coverage at the public health facilities and other social protection benefits from the rural government based on the principle of no citizen left behind. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Phnom Penh Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Sautet temporarily suspended 3 road traffic police officers while an investigation is carried out on alleged extortion against a foreign driver. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
According to sources, last week a Chinese man was pulled over for running a traffic light near Wat Salang while driving his wife to Phnom Penh Airport. The police asked the man for official documents, but the man was in a hurry and instead offered the police $100. The police refused the money, so the driver offered to leave behind $10,000 as a deposit to ensure that he would return to follow proper proceedings after his wife had been dropped off. When the man returned, The police officers had disappeared, so he filed a complaint at the Chinese embassy. As of August 8th, Lieutenant Colonel Sok Kim Lee, Lieutenant Colonel Sun Pana, Lieutenant Colonel Lon Lihov have been temporarily suspended while the matter has been investigated. According to the suspension letter, the 3 police officers must appear in front of the Sheriff's Office to investigation during what will be their working hours while they wait for their decision. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Watching EAC News, thank you for joining us. According to the press release from the National Authority of Phra Vihear welcomed 5,801 visitors to the temple site in July, including 478 foreign tourists. About 2 hours away, Koh Kai Temple was exclusively visited by domestic tourists, totaling over 4,000 entries, a sizable increase from the 3,000 recorded in June. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Phra Vihear Temple is one of Cambodia's 3 official World Heritage Sites recognised by UNESCO and located in Dong Glek Mountains, which form a natural border of Thailand. The site's history dates back in the 9th century before it was eventually developed as a shrine to the Hindu goddess Shiva in the 11th century. Koh Ker is a small and more remote temple complex that is about halfway between Phra Vihear Temple and Siem Reap. Built during the 10th century, it is briefly a Khmer Empire capital. Unfortunately, it is heavily looted upon European contact, and the stolen artefacts remain in public and private collectors, such as in Muscat G. May in Paris. On Wednesday morning, the National Authority of Phra Vihear announced the renovation of the 8,200 metre that leads to the Koh Ker Temple, which was previously only accessible by a long and dangerous climb. The road is meant to facilitate travel to the temple and allow visitors to enjoy the natural landscape and the surroundings area. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. President of the Cambodian People's Party and current Prime Minister Hun Sen started a meeting at 4 p.m. today with members of the current and upcoming ministrations at CPP headquarters in Phnom Penh. The CPP won 120 seats in the National Assembly following a landslide victory on July 23rd. As CPP president, Prime Minister Hun Sen nominated his son, Dr. Hun Manet, as the next prime minister. Having been approved by a CPP vote, permission was then sought from the king, who granted Hun Manet's appointment on August 7th and gave him permission to form a new cabinet of officials. Hun Manet is currently forming the new cabinet and will seek the confidence vote from the National Assembly on August 21st. Pending approval, the new Council of Ministers will officially enter the government's 7th mandate on August 22nd. The day marks a major shift in Cambodian politics, as the world's longest-serving prime minister will step down after 38 years in power. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that his resignation is his sacrifice for the stability, peace, and prosperity of the people. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. China's Foreign Minister, Wang Yi, is set to embark on a diplomatic tour of Singapore, Malaysia, and Cambodia from August 10th through 13th, with the aim of enhancing strategic communication and fostering stronger relationships with the 3 key Southeast Asian nations. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Mr. Wang's visit begins in Singapore today upon the invitation of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Vivian Balakrishnan. During his stay, he is scheduled to meet with Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong and the Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Following the engagement in Singapore, Wang is to travel to Malaysia to engage in discussions with the Foreign Minister, Zamri Abd Kadir, on Saturday. On Sunday, his diplomatic journey will lead him to Cambodia, where he is to meet with Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn. In a statement issued by the Chinese Foreign Ministry, Mr. Wang's visit is hailed as an important opportunity to promote the development of China-ASEAN relations. The ministry underscored China's intent to strengthen strategic communications with these nations and to foster a closer community with a shared future. This diplomatic tour with Mr. Wang comes as the juncture where China is actively pursuing the reinforcement of its relations within Southeast Asia. The region holds a significant strategic importance to China due to the major shipping lanes and abundant natural resources. Over the last few decades, China has made some substantial investments in Southeast Asia, signaling its aspirations to broaden its economic and political influence across the region. Anticipation surrounds the outcomes of Wang's diplomatic engagements in Singapore, Malaysia, and Cambodia. This tour holds the potential to yield new agreements spanning trade, investment, and security domains. Furthermore, it is poised to continue to be improved relations between China and the three countries. Only time will unveil the lasting impact of Wang's diplomatic venture, shedding light on its potential transformative effects. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni has requested the winning candidates from all provinces to convene for their first meeting as members of parliament at the National Assembly on August 21st. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
The King sent an official letter of invitation to all candidates who won seats in the 7th National Assembly election on July 23rd. Included in the roster are 120 members of the reigning Cambodian People's Party and 5 from the Royalist Phuong Sepik Party. This will be the first time in 5 years members of another party than the CPP will hold parliamentary seats. On August the 21st, the 7th Mandate National Assembly will convene for the first time. That evening, the members will be sworn in at the Royal Palace. On August 22nd, the National Assembly will meet under the leadership of a new president, Kung Sandari, to swear in a new cabinet. That day will also see Dr. Hun Manet assume his role as the new Prime Minister with the approval of the National Assembly. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. As president of the Cambodian People's Party, Prime Minister Hun Sen announced the next president of the National Assembly in a Telegram voice message yesterday, while also refuting reports from banned news source Radio Free Asia that CPP infighting was causing confusion as to who will lead Cambodia when the next mandated government is formed on August 22nd. In a special audio message last night, the Prime Minister announced Khuon Sukdari as the next president of the National Assembly. Khuon Sukdari is a National Assembly member who represents Kandal Province and has previously served as vice president for the legislative body. She will be the first woman to hold the position. During his message, the Prime Minister also responded to comments made on Radio Free Asia, a news source that was banned in Cambodia shortly ahead of the election last month for spreading misinformation. RFA reported that the CPP is having internal power struggles and suggested that the transfer of power may not be as smooth as promised. The Prime Minister said, quote, "They are still taking time to attack the CPP. Even if this attack is useless, there is no need to confirm the allegations." The Prime Minister said that the decision to appoint Khuon Sukdari had already been made as far back as 2021, and that a meeting today would clear up any rumors. He referred to the meeting that is to be held today between current government officials and those who are expected to step up when the new Prime Minister takes over on August 22nd. He said, quote, "Tomorrow, please look ahead to the meeting of the Standing Committee of the Cambodian People's Party, with members of the government of the 6th mandate that is just finished, and the royal government of the 7th mandate that will take office in the future." He then confirmed Khuon Sukdari as the future National Assembly President, Chiam Diep as the first Vice President, and Vong Sot as the second Vice President. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Across the globe, schools offer heavily processed packaged snacks that are full of preservatives, which have been proven to have a negative impact on children's health. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports banned many unhealthy foods from schools in 2019, but some schools have not followed the new law. One school in Pre Veng is setting an example for how children can be provided with healthier local options that keep students and parents happy. Pre Signet Primary School